Welcome back to The Late Show live on GB News. Now, there is news that the FBI has come under fire for allegedly monitoring the phone records of multiple Republican senators in connection with its investigation into the January 6th Capitol Hill riots. So documents published by Fox News Digital show the Bureau conducted a preliminary toll analysis, meaning that it reviewed information about when and with whom calls were made for at least 8 different senators. So let's understand this in a little bit more detail with Federal Defense Attorney Ron Chapman. Good evening, Ron. Thank you for joining me. So why is this so shocking?
Well, in the United States, we, of course, have wiretap laws, which make it a felony to tap the lines of somebody and listen in on the communications. Unlike what Josh Hawley said, this isn't wiretapping traditionally, but this is very concerning because we have, I believe, 9 Republican senators. We notice in this report that the date is September 27th, 2023, which would have been after Donald Trump was indicted. And you should limit investigations like this to only those where there's a particularized need or evidence that would suggest that there might be further evidence gained from accessing this information. And what was accessed? Well, it's actually more harmful potentially than just the call volume or the audio from the call. It's data of where these senators were and all their activities in terms of who they call.
And it was only Republican senators that were listened in on, and this was about the January 6th Capitol Hill riots. Is that correct?
That's right. And in analyzing these reports, the best thing that I can tell, and as a federal criminal defense attorney, I look at reports like this all the time. It appears that what they were trying to do is find out the specific location of individuals around January 6th to see who was meeting with who. And this cell site location data might actually be included in these types of reports, in which case they would have pretty good knowledge of where certain Republicans were to suggest that they may have known about the events and activities of January 6th or an attempt to overturn the election.
And it's taken Fox News, it's taken a media outlet to shine a light on this. Have we had a reaction yet, do you know, from the Republicans who were surveilled?
Yeah, there's been quite an interesting reaction. I think that Chuck Grassley was very concerned about it. I think Hawley went in during a committee hearing, I think put up a big billboard of this FBI report that we see showing that his lines were tapped, as he called it, which of course isn't the language that we would traditionally use for this. They're all very shocked. And the concerning thing is that this is only Republicans, and likely this was related to Jack Smith, who was somebody who was appointed as a special prosecutor during a time where both Biden and Merrick Garland believed that Donald Trump had committed a crime. So you have the cart before the horse, and you have folks being investigated before there's evidence that they should be investigated in this manner. And that's the most problematic thing. So we understand that the FBI agents involved have already been fired, and I'm sure there's going to be an effort to look into who actually approved these reports.
And Ron, the Epstein shadow will not go away for so many people who could be implicated in that issue. Are we about to see more drama in that particular area soon?
Well, there's a bill pending to apparently call a vote on the release of these Epstein files. That's been the big issue. I honestly think, to borrow a phrase from a long time ago, that the Epstein files is basically a nothing burger. Kash Patel would have had to respond to subpoenas lawfully if information existed. And there's just really no evidence that there's going to be anything damaging against Donald Trump, which appears to be what they're looking for. I think in reality, what you have are the records of what is an ongoing FBI investigation that the FBI doesn't want to release for very good reasons.
Okay, Ron, thank you so much for joining me. Fascinating stuff there. Federal Defense Attorney Ron Chapman.